about.
He picked
I mean,
her
this
up and
was
put her in the
probably
car.
one of the most powerful pieces of the evidence that they played in court, Brian.
Absolutely. And
Bruh,
I was in court
like, no,
watching some of these videos.
how the That's not funny, but bruh, come on, man. How the hell he guilty of harassment? Then what the hell is she guilty of, bruh? She's literally chasing cuz. Bro, how you guilty of assault when you the one running away? Yeah, bro, apparently Jonathan Majors, they found him guilty of at least 2 of the charges, man. I'm trying to get caught up on what is what because something ain't adding up.
And hello, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips.
And I'm Terry Miranda. We've got some breaking news. The jury in the Jonathon Majors domestic violence trial has found him guilty of 1 count of assault and 1 count of harassment, but acquitted him of another count of assaulting his former girlfriend.
What the hell is she guilty of? She got to be guilty of something. She sure as hell was chasing this man down a couple streets, bruh. That ain't harassment, but all right, let's go.
Hours deliberating over portions of several days. And this is a case that has gotten a lot of attention. Jonathon Majors, a major rising star, and he met a crisis in this, and the jury is now returned with his verdict.
And there was a lot of talk about this trial impacting his future in the movie business. Rising star within the Marvel movies. Our legal contributor, Brian Buckmeyer, has been following this from the very beginning as well. So I guess let's first of all talk about the charges here. Brian, your first reaction.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scratching my head just because I'm looking at the different charges, and let me break it down and explain. There are 2 different assaults here. One is intentional assault and one is reckless assault. Based on the number order that they're telling us, my guess, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong, is they're acquitting him of intentional assault, but finding him guilty of reckless assault, meaning that he just did something he should have known better, and it caused the injury of Grace Jabari. Then he's found not guilty of aggravated assault, which is to alarm, annoy, harass, or threaten someone and subject them to physical violence. But he's not guilty of that, but he is guilty of alarming and annoying Grace Jabari. To me, this sounds like we call it a King Solomon decision. They literally just split the baby and said half and half, but some of the convictions and some of the acquittals don't really make sense when you put them all together.
Well, Brian, let me try to...
What are the actual charges, bro? What are the charges? What are the charges? Majors has been charged with 2 counts of assault and 2 counts of harassment, all misdemeanors. I need some specificity. It sounds like, from what he said, like the intentional ones are the ones that weigh the most, and he was acquitted of those, but was found guilty of accidental shit. And like the headlines, bro, they're misleading people with the headline on all the little media platform posts, bro. It's Jonathan Majors found guilty, he's guilty, bro. When it ain't how they're making it seem, bro. Convicting him of 3rd-degree assault and 2nd-degree harassment. He was acquitted of a different 3rd-degree assault as well as aggravated. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I don't fuck it. That's confusing, bro. But anyway.
Make a little sense. I wonder, I don't know the exact fact pattern since I wasn't in the courtroom, but couldn't you say that in the fury of what is a domestic dispute, he was reckless in his handling, in his physical handling of Jabari, and that was the reckless assault. And the harassment is he lost his temper rather than consciously went after her. Does that make sense?
No, because it would make sense for the reckless and then the aggravated harassment, because the aggravated harassment is harassing someone through physical violence. So why find him guilty of assaulting recklessly, but not guilty of harassing someone through physical force? That's the part that I'm thinking someone just kind of said, you know what, we'll find him guilty for 2, but not guilty for these 2. But it could work. Someone's got to talk to the jury, I guess.
Yeah. Let's talk about the evidence, because there was clearly clashing narrative from both sides. We had video, audio, text, photos. Do we have that video? Okay, this is some of the photos that we had here of the bruises and the cuts. This is the video that I'm talking about.
He picked her up and put her in the car.
One of the most powerful pieces of the evidence that they played in court, Brian.
Absolutely. And
Bruh,
I was in court
like, no,
watching some of these videos.
how the It's not funny, but bruh, come on, man. How the hell he guilty of harassment? Then what the hell is she guilty of, bruh? She's literally chasing cuz up a few blocks. But no, she the victim. Okay.
Video being played to the jury, and I think it was difficult for both the prosecution and the defense to really articulate this video in a way that really moved the jury. And I think ultimately, the jury kind of took this case into their own hands. We saw that from the jury notes, saying we want all of the evidence, pretty much video, testimony, 911 calls, and they decided for themselves. For me, is this Jonathan Majors assaulting his then girlfriend, then running away?
Absolutely not, bruh.
Trying to stop her from stealing, or I guess re-stealing his cell phone and getting away from her. The juxtaposition of how this was presented to the jury, I think, is what caused the deliberation to take so long.
And there's a state of mind, obviously, that the prosecution would have to prove, right? And so here they are. She has seen the spark that triggered this fight, where she saw what she thought was a message from another woman.
That's bullshit, bruh. I mean, but, you know, same story, different day, right? You can't put your hands on a woman in any form or fashion, which is valid, bruh. But, like, is he some fucking woman beater? Absolutely not, man. Like, she got mad, took his phone, he wanted his phone back, and that happened in the heat of the moment. He went out here beating her. He's like, give me my phone, leave me alone, I'm getting the fuck on, bruh. She mad, chasing him. But all of a sudden, she the victim. Okay. Y'all motherfuckers better be careful with y'all phones if y'all out here doing dirt. You know what I mean? Y'all better be careful, bruh.
What she thought was a message from another woman on his phone. So she was trying to grab the phone. He's trying to grab it back.
That's harassment. You can't grab my phone.
At the peak of emotions and anger and mutual conflict at that point. And would the jury have factored that in? In other words, we've all been in fights with people we love, and so it's not the same as a more conscious.
As Brian smiles, he's like,
yeah. So this is the difficult part for me, and this is where I was getting in trouble at home when I tried to break this down to my wife. What I didn't like about this defense is they didn't focus on what is called Penal Law 3525. It's the ability to use force to stop a larceny or theft or criminal mischief, the damage of your property. And I always go back to this analogy that I've said multiple times in ABC.
Right.
If
gender bias, bro, shit don't matter.
If Kira's walking down the street and someone takes her purse, the law says you're allowed to use force to take your property back. The law doesn't say, well, your girlfriend's allowed to take your cell phone because she's allowed to check for infidelity. The law doesn't say, well, my wife's allowed or I'm allowed to take my wife's property because I need to check it for this or that. No. To me, this broke down to Grace Jabari stealing property and Jonathan Majors using force. Now, the question is it appropriate force to take back his property? But that seemed to be an argument that was missed completely in this trial.
This could be anybody, bro. This could be anybody, dog. Especially y'all motherfuckers out here cheating and shit. This could definitely be y'all. It could be anybody for that matter, bro. So I gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful, dog. Like, it's a dangerous ass situation, bro. He was so focused on removing himself from the situation that he sprinted blocks away from her to get away from this. He knew it was a bad look. He knew it was fucked up, right? I don't know. He was, you know, doing dirt or whatever, bro. But everybody out here is fucking cheating, especially in the celebrity world, bro. That motherfucker out here doing the hella fucking dirt. That's nothing new. But this little struggle that they got in, bro, anybody can find themselves in that situation, man. So what would you do? What would you do? You want to let her take your phone, or how would you get it? You know what I'm saying? And he didn't. I'm sure he didn't mean to. That's what they said. It was not intentional. Fucked up, bro. Now he losing. He done lost. How much money has he lost? How many deals has he lost? You know what I'm saying? His management team dropped him. Marvel dropped him. He's losing millions of dollars because of this bullshit.
Really focused on, can you believe that these injuries actually occurred in that vehicle when Grace Jabari then went off drinking with these new friends that she saw, that she supposedly bumped into a wall, supposedly bounced her head off of the DJ booth, was smoking with a cigarette. Was her finger really broken? Was her ear really scratched? That's where this case really focused. It didn't focus on, is any person justified of using force to take back their property?
So Majors didn't testify in his own defense, right?
That's correct. He did not testify in this case.
So do you think that helped or hurt him?
Hindsight's always 20/20. So you look at it now and you're like,
I think it hurt him.
maybe it hurt him. I think the difficulty in him testifying was that the evidence that came in was so strong that, for lack of a better term,
He didn't need
this
to.
was a toxic relationship. This was a man who believed he was, as his own words, a great man, and that he needed a great woman similar to like that of Michelle Obama or Coretta Scott King, and through the prosecution's eyes or their lens was manipulating Grace Jabari to be someone else through verbal and emotional abuse, and that this crescendo of verbal and emotional abuse led to the physical abuse that is this case. And if Jonathan Majors took the stand, he would have had to answer for each and every one of those instances of verbal
That
and
ain't got
emotional
nothing to
abuse.
do
So I
with
think
nothing.
that would have been very damning for him, not just in a criminal setting, but also in a PR setting, because he's got to have a life after this. So I think strategically it makes sense for him not to testify. But I think on another sense, him testifying to what happened in that vehicle, saying, I was just trying to get my phone back. This was not a form of manipulation. This wasn't a form of abuse. This was someone took my property and I tried to take it back with as little force or a little harm as possible, and she wasn't injured when I left. I think that could have been helpful as well.
All right, let's go to Aaron Katursky, who's been covering this for us. Thank you, Brian, our senior investigative reporter. So, Aaron, this is a split verdict. Brian's just been slicing and dicing the law with us and some of the evidence in the case. What do you make of this verdict? What's the jury saying, and what are the consequences for Jonathan Majors?
I think off the bat, with 2 counts of conviction, Jonathan Majors faces as much as a year in prison.
He ain't going to no damn prison.
Hard-pressed to find another case of misdemeanor domestic violence where a first-time offender actually served time. But be that as it may, he does face the possibility of a year in prison on each of the 2 counts of
all right,
conviction.
I'm over this shit. It's such bullshit, bro. The worst thing about it is just such negative PR for him, bro. Like, this is a stigma that's gonna fucking follow him wherever he go, bro, because he was convicted. Regardless if he appeals it or fucking not. The shit is out there, and narrative's out there, and people are gonna demonize him for those that believe he was out here beating her ass are gonna demonize him for it. Right? It's just a lose-lose. Any way you look at it, bro, and it came from innocent enough situation, bro. Like, bitch took her fucking phone, gave my phone back, and all the other nonsense ensued and turned into this big ass nuclear bomb, bro. You know what I mean? So this fella's gotta goddamn be careful. Same story, different fucking day. Same story, different fucking day. He ain't beat that girl. He ain't no damn woman beater, bro. It's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Y'all fellas be careful, bro. Be careful, man.